The early red flags. How to tell they're falling out of love with you. Love is a complex, beautiful, and evolving emotion. At the beginning of a relationship, everything feels magical. There are butterflies, constant communication, and an eagerness to spend time together. But over time, relationships change. Sometimes this change leads to deeper commitment. Other times, unfortunately, it signals a shift in emotional investment. When someone begins to fall out of love, the signs are often subtle at first. These early indicators can be easy to miss or dismiss, especially if you're deeply invested. However, recognizing these signs can help you understand what is truly happening in your relationship and decide how to move forward. In this in-depth exploration, we will uncover the earliest red flags that suggest someone may be emotionally withdrawing. Understanding these signs will empower you to take control of your emotional well-being and approach the situation with clarity. Chapter 1. The Decline of Communication. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. In a healthy partnership, both individuals feel safe sharing their thoughts, dreams, and concerns. When someone begins to fall out of love, one of the first signs is a shift in communication. They might offer shorter, less enthusiastic replies. Avoid meaningful conversations. Stop asking questions about your day or your thoughts. Seem distracted or disinterested when you're speaking. This change can be gradual. At first, it might just seem like they're tired or stressed. But over time, the pattern becomes clear. They are no longer engaging with you the way they used to. Chapter 2. Emotional distance and withdrawal. Another early red flag is emotional withdrawal. This is when your partner begins to detach themselves from the emotional closeness that once defined your relationship. Common signs include a lack of affection or warmth, less physical intimacy or touch, a general feeling of being alone even when you're together, a decline in emotional support or responsiveness. Emotional distance can be deeply painful, as it often feels like rejection. If your partner no longer seeks comfort in you or offers you comfort in return, it may indicate that their emotional connection is fading. Chapter 3. Change in priorities and time spent together. When people are in love, they make time for each other, even in the midst of busy schedules. If your partner is falling out of love, you might notice that they frequently cancel plans or are too busy. Spend more time with friends, hobbies, or at work than usual. Show a lack of enthusiasm about shared activities you once enjoyed. No longer initiate plans or seem reluctant to commit to spending time together. This shift can feel like you're no longer a priority. While it's normal for interests and obligations to evolve, consistent neglect can be a warning sign. Chapter 4. Increased irritability or criticism. When love begins to fade, irritation can take its place. Things that never bothered your partner before might suddenly become issues. They may snap at you more often, criticize your actions, appearance, or decisions, seem annoyed by your presence or input, express frustration more easily, even over small things. This behavior often reflects internal dissatisfaction. They may not even realize they're projecting their emotions, but to you, it may feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells. Chapter 5. Lack of future planning. Couples in love talk about the future. Whether it's planning vacations, discussing long-term goals, or imagining life together in 5 years, these conversations reinforce commitment. If your partner is falling out of love, You might notice a reluctance to discuss future plans, vague or non-committal answers about long-term goals, canceling or avoiding discussions about important shared milestones, seeming indifferent to topics like moving in, marriage, or travel. A shrinking interest in your shared future is a powerful indicator that their emotional investment may be fading. Chapter 6. Loss of effort in the relationship. Relationships require effort. When someone loves you, they make an effort to keep the spark alive and maintain the bond. If your partner stops trying, it could be because their feelings have changed. Signs include forgetting important dates or events, no longer giving compliments or expressing appreciation, letting romance, surprises, or gestures of care fade away, a decline in responsiveness to your needs or feelings. It may feel like you're the only one trying to keep the relationship afloat. This imbalance can breed resentment and emotional fatigue. Chapter 7. Avoidance of conflict resolution. All couples argue or face challenges. What matters is how they address and resolve them. A partner who is falling out of love might avoid conflict altogether, shut down, or walk away during arguments, refuse to discuss feelings or issues, dismiss your concerns as not a big deal. Conflict avoidance can signal emotional disconnection. If they're no longer invested in making things work, they may see no point in resolving issues. Chapter 8. Changes in body language and nonverbal cues. Our bodies often communicate what our words do not. Subtle changes in body language can reveal a lot about your partner's emotional state. Watch for less eye contact or closed-off posture, a reluctance to sit close, cuddle, or hold hands, pulling away from touch or physical intimacy, facial expressions that seem indifferent, annoyed, or distant. These nonverbal cues can speak volumes. If your partner seems physically disengaged, it may reflect their internal emotional withdrawal. Chapter 9. Increase in secrecy or privacy. In loving relationships, partners tend to be open about their lives. While everyone is entitled to privacy, sudden or unexplained secrecy can be a red flag. Look out for guarding their phone or computer more than usual, being vague about their whereabouts, refusing to share thoughts or feelings, hiding social interactions or changes in behavior. This secrecy can create suspicion and mistrust, even if nothing specific has happened. The emotional distance is often at the root of this change. Chapter 10. Gut instinct and emotional intuition. Sometimes, the most powerful signal that your partner is falling out of love is your own intuition. You may feel it in your gut before you can articulate the reasons. You might notice a sense that something is off, persistent anxiety or sadness around the relationship, a feeling of being unwanted or unseen, a lack of emotional fulfillment. Even if everything seems fine on the surface, trusting your instincts doesn't mean jumping to conclusions. It means honoring your feelings and paying attention to your emotional experience. Chapter 11. The power of denial and hope. When love begins to fade, it's common for one partner to cling to hope. Denial becomes a coping mechanism, a way to preserve emotional safety. You might catch yourself making excuses for their behavior, convincing yourself that things will return to normal soon. This hope is understandable. After all, you've invested time, energy, and heart into the relationship, but unchecked, denial can become a barrier to clarity. It can delay necessary conversations, personal healing, and decisions about the future. You may tell yourself, they're just going through a rough patch. Everyone gets distance sometimes. If I try harder, they'll come back to me. Hope isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's a reflection of your commitment and love. But when hope blinds you to persistent patterns of emotional withdrawal, it becomes a form of self-betrayal. Understanding the role of denial can help you step into reality with gentleness and self-compassion. Chapter 12. Self-worth and self-reflection. Discovering that someone may be falling out of love with you is not only heartbreaking, it can shake your sense of self. You may begin to question your worth, blame yourself, or spiral into feelings of inadequacy. But it's crucial to remember, their emotional shift is not a reflection of your value. Take time to reflect on your own needs and boundaries. Ask yourself, am I being treated with the love and respect I deserve? Do I feel safe, seen, and valued in this relationship? What do I need to feel fulfilled and emotionally secure? This stage of self-inquiry can be transformative. It opens the door to healing, growth, and even greater self-love. Whether the relationship continues or ends, your commitment to yourself will guide you through. Chapter 13. Taking action with compassion. Recognizing the red flags is only the beginning. The next step is to decide how to act. This doesn't always mean ending the relationship. It means initiating open, honest communication and expressing your feelings clearly. Consider approaching your partner with non-blaming language. I've noticed a shift and I feel a genuine desire to understand. Can we talk about how we're both feeling? Courage to hear the truth, even if it's painful. Their response will speak volumes. A partner who still cares might be relieved to have the conversation and work on the relationship. A partner who has emotionally checked out might confirm your fears, or may not be willing to re-engage. No matter the outcome, you've honored yourself by facing the truth. That is a brave and essential act of self-love. Conclusion: facing the truth with strength and clarity. Recognizing that someone may be falling out of love with you is incredibly difficult. It's tempting to ignore the signs or hope things will return to how they used to be. But acknowledging the red flags empowers you to take control of your emotional health. Once you recognize these signs, you can choose your next steps. This may mean initiating an honest conversation, seeking therapy individually or as a couple, or making the painful decision to move on. Remember, love that fades doesn't mean you're unworthy. It simply means that emotional alignment has changed. You deserve a relationship where love is mutual, effort is balanced, and emotional safety is intact. Healing is possible. Clarity is the first step toward it. And in the end, knowing the truth can be more freeing than clinging to a version of love that no longer exists.